Hello and welcome to the 21st tutorial in the JavaScript Basics series, and in this tutorial we're going to look at the while loop. This tutorial assumes you've done tutorial 2. If you haven't, there'll be a link in the description to the source code, and as usual there'll be a link in the description to the source code produced from this tutorial. So what is a while loop? Basically a loop in general is something that can execute a block of code as long as a specific condition is true. First of all, it's going to open up a text editor. I'm going to open up the files from tutorial 2 in the text editor. And if we just go to a JavaScript file, we'll just get rid of this a second. But before we do a while loop, we're just going to show you what a for loop is again. And because it's very similar to a while loop, or a while loop is very similar to a for loop. You have 3 statements. The first statement is run before the loop has started. And it's usually just to set up some sort of variable, maybe var I equals 0, for example. The next statement is the condition, and we're going to put I less than 5 for this. Just says to start, declare a variable called I. A lot of the time you declare something that is an index or iterator. It doesn't have to be I, it can be X or whatever. And this just say while I is less than 5, keep running the loop. And the final statement is run after every iteration of the loop. So in this case, it would run 5 times because I'm going to put I++. And that's something that you probably would do. This is a very common practice. It's something that you would do to change the iterator or something that's in the condition. You don't want an infinite loop because that's the last thing you want. There are very few cases that you want an infinite loop. Game design is one of them, so if you get onto that you might understand why you would want an infinite loop. And this is how a while loop works. A while loop, it works like this. Var I equals 0. It's common practice to have like the first statement that is in a for loop already initialized and declared somewhere else, and then you would do while. And in here you put one statement and they simply this, the condition that you want to check for the loop. So I'm going to put I less than 5, and then you would actually put the third statement most likely inside at the end yourself. I++. You might think, why not use this, or why not use this? Why have they got both of them? The thing is, even though you can actually omit this part, and if you omit this part, a while loop might just be better suited to your needs, just simply because you might already have the variable declared, looks a lot neater, plus what you're doing in here to maybe that variable is a little more complex than I++. You might be several lines of complex code and you just don't want to put that there. So that's what it is. So let's just get rid of this code. And if we do alert, I'm just going to put I in there. It's going to open this up in a web browser now. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. That's it for while loops. They're really cool, just like for loops, to be able to execute some code multiple times. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at the do while loop. All the required links for the source code will be in the description. If you have any questions, feel free to message us. And as usual, thanks for watching.